Kelsey never wanted to be part of the twisted family scheme, yet fate forced her into it. It all began on a tense evening when her stepmother, Cheryl, announced a plan that would change everything. "I don't want to go," Kelsey declared, her voice quivering with anger as she refused to participate in Cheryl's outrageous idea. Unfazed, Cheryl rolled her eyes and replied, "I already signed your invitation. You're going. You're the one representing our family." Her tone made it clear that Kelsey's role was less about family unity and more about fulfilling Cheryl's selfish ambitions. Only 3 months after Kelsey's mother had passed away and her father remarried, the hurt was compounded by Cheryl's persistent interference. For 5 years, Cheryl had treated Kelsey as an inconvenience rather than a daughter, always assuming control of every family matter. Now, with her father in a coma and the family business on the verge of collapse, Cheryl's plan reached a new level of manipulation. Kelsey was forced to enter a competition designed to win the hand of Brandon, the dashing heir of the Hughes fortune. In doing so, not only would Kelsey's participation help salvage the dying business, but it would also determine who would inherit the family legacy. At the Grand Hughes mansion, 6 contestants gathered, each vying for Brandon's favor and the chance to become his wife. Among them was Kelsey, a reluctant candidate forced into the contest by circumstance. The rules were simple. By the end of the day, only 3 contestants would remain, and eventually, one would win Brandon's heart. Despite the superficial glamour of the competition, Kelsey's motivation was deeply personal. Her family's future and her father's fragile condition hung in the balance. During the first challenge, a test of seduction, each contestant was given a chance to impress Brandon. The women presented themselves with practiced charm and allure. Vanessa, with her flirtatious manner, and Alyssa, with poised confidence, spared no effort. When it was Kelsey's turn, however, she hesitated. "Do you expect me to take my clothes off like the others?" she asked, her voice edged with both defiance and vulnerability. Brandon's expression softened at her honesty. "Expect the unexpected," he replied with a gentle smile. Kelsey then confessed something that none of the others would. She was a virgin, a truth that shocked Brandon and set her apart from the manipulative advances of the other contestants. Her sincerity and unwillingness to exploit her body made him take notice. Over the following rounds, the competition deepened. Brandon, intrigued by Kelsey's authenticity, discreetly requested that Mrs. Hughes retrieve the financial records of the struggling family business. When he learned that Kelsey's family was in dire financial straits, his interest in her grew even stronger. He later revealed that he had already injected a considerable sum into her company, a lifeline to keep it afloat. "If you become my wife," he teased, "it's free." Though Kelsey was confused about how to repay such generosity, she couldn't help but feel drawn to his genuine concern. The next challenge tested the contestants' culinary skills. In the mansion's spacious kitchen, each woman was tasked with preparing a dish that would impress Brandon's refined palate. Vanessa dazzled him with an elaborate platter featuring turkey bacon and eggs on toasted brioche, followed by a sweet vanilla pudding. Alyssa presented a sumptuous meal of chicken and waffles, accompanied by a luscious sweet pumpkin pie that elicited a delighted moan from Brandon. When it was Kelsey's turn, she hesitated before lifting the lid on her dish. Instead of an extravagant recipe, she offered a humble bowl of salmon soup with hard-boiled eggs, a recipe lovingly handed down from her late mother. Vanessa burst into laughter at the simplicity of Kelsey's offering, mocking its plainness. But Brandon, after taking a careful sip of the soup, smiled warmly. "This is fantastic. I love the taste," he said, his tone conveying that the dish's heartfelt simplicity spoke volumes. Unlike the other contestants who relied on flamboyant techniques, Kelsey's dish was imbued with genuine love and nostalgia. It was a quiet reminder that true value often lies in the depth of one's feelings rather than in flashy appearances. After the meal, the contestants were given credit cards and the freedom to shop in town, a perk designed to display their independence. While Vanessa and Alyssa eagerly rushed out in luxury vehicles, Kelsey surprised everyone by returning her card to Brandon. "I have no use for it," she explained. When Brandon asked if she had somewhere else in mind, Kelsey hesitated before admitting, "I want to see my dad at the hospital." Her simple choice revealed her priorities. Family mattered more than material indulgence. Moved by her selflessness, Brandon's concern deepened, and he tenderly kissed her forehead, a gesture that, though unexpected, made Kelsey's heart flutter. As the days passed, the competition escalated and the tasks became increasingly personal. One challenge required the contestants to iron clothes, a test of practical skills that would prove essential for a future wife. Vanessa and Alyssa quickly demonstrated their proficiency, while Kelsey, unfamiliar with household chores due to her sheltered upbringing, struggled. Nervously fumbling with the hot iron, she accidentally burned part of the shirt she was working on. Mrs. Hughes scolded her sharply, and Vanessa, reveling in the opportunity to assert her superiority, ridiculed Kelsey. The situation quickly turned physical when Vanessa, consumed by jealousy, shoved Kelsey down a flight of stairs. Kelsey screamed as she tumbled, and she soon lost consciousness at the bottom. The fall sent shockwaves through the mansion. Brandon, visibly distraught, rushed to her side. Amid the ensuing chaos, a skilled doctor was summoned. Vanessa's feigned concern did little to mask the bitterness that fueled her actions, while Brandon's worry was genuine. The doctor explained that Kelsey had merely fainted from the impact and that her leg was strained, though she would regain consciousness soon. Relieved but still anxious, Brandon stayed by her bedside, his presence offering comfort and reaffirming his growing affection. When Kelsey finally awoke, she found Brandon's caring gaze fixed upon her. In that quiet hospital room, as he checked on her and soothed her fears, their connection deepened. Their tender interactions gradually transformed the contest from a coercive game into a crucible for true emotion. Each night, as part of the competition's rules, Brandon was required to spend the night with a different contestant. He had already stayed with Alyssa without incident and had even spent a night with Vanessa, a move that left Kelsey awake with uneasy jealousy. One evening, while Kelsey was stepping out for a breath of fresh air, she caught a glimpse of Brandon at Vanessa's doorway, where Vanessa was stealing a kiss. The sight shattered Kelsey's fragile composure. Confused and hurt, she retreated into her room, the image searing into her memory. Vanessa's triumphant smirk, however, only stoked the flames of envy further. The rivalry between the two women escalated, as Vanessa continued to plot and scheme, determined to secure Brandon's favor by any means necessary. The tension reached its peak when Vanessa's manipulations were finally exposed. In a dramatic turn of events, Mrs. Hughes burst into the living room with shocking news. Vanessa was pregnant, and Brandon was the father. Along with a damning envelope of photos, the evidence left no room for denial. "Brandon, you've gotten Vanessa pregnant," Mrs. Hughes declared, and the revelation sent shockwaves through everyone in the mansion. Vanessa's desperate protests were quickly silenced as she was forcibly removed from the premises, her dreams of victory in ruins. With Vanessa disqualified, the competition narrowed to Kelsey and Alyssa. Throughout the ordeal, Brandon's affection for Kelsey had only deepened. One night, as they shared a quiet moment after the chaos of the previous days, Brandon knelt before her and spoke from his heart. "Kelsey, I love you. You're the only one who has truly touched me. Not for your looks, but for your honesty and the love you hold in your heart." Overwhelmed by emotion, Kelsey's tears were both sorrowful and joyful. "I love you too, Brandon," she whispered, though a small part of her still worried about the contest's implications. The final stage of the competition came swiftly. Although the contest had originally been designed as a means to secure the family business, it had transformed into a test of genuine character and love. With Vanessa out of the picture and Alyssa's withdrawal coming on her own accord after confessing her personal reasons for joining, Brandon turned his full attention to Kelsey. One morning, as he gently cradled her hand and looked deeply into her eyes, he asked again, "Kelsey, will you marry me?" With her heart pounding and her voice trembling with certainty, she replied, "Yes, Brandon, I will marry you." Slipping a sparkling ring onto her finger, he sealed their promise with a tender kiss that spoke of a future built on trust, resilience, and true affection. Their union did more than just bring two people together. It rekindled hope for a family in crisis. With Brandon's financial assistance, Kelsey's family business quickly recovered, and the once distant relationship with her stepmother, Cheryl, began to heal. Over time, Cheryl transformed from a bitter, overbearing figure into a caring presence, eventually embracing Brandon and even delighting in the arrival of their first child. a symbol of a new beginning and the merging of broken hearts into one loving family. What had started as a forced contest quickly evolved into an unexpected love story. Kelsey, who had been thrust into the competition against her will, discovered that beneath the layers of manipulation and family pressure lay an opportunity for genuine connection. Brandon's unwavering kindness, his willingness to see beyond appearances, and his firm belief that true love could overcome any obstacle, slowly but surely broke down the barriers Kelsey had built around her heart. Through every challenge, from the humiliating cooking and ironing tasks to the painful betrayals and the heart-stopping moment of Vanessa's violence, their bond only grew stronger. Brandon's gentle reassurances during Kelsey's recovery, his quiet determination to protect her, and his tender declarations of love helped her navigate not only the trials of the competition, but also the lingering scars of family loss and betrayal. In the end, their story was not defined by the contest itself, but by the discovery that love, honesty, and genuine kindness are worth fighting for, even when the odds are stacked against you. Kelsey and Brandon's wedding was not merely a celebration of a union born out of desperation. It was a testament to the transformative power of love that could heal old wounds and forge a future full of hope and promise. Thus, what began as a coerced challenge to save a legacy evolved into a journey of self-discovery, redemption, and the realization that sometimes life forces us into the most unexpected situations, only to lead us to the one person who makes everything worthwhile. United by shared hardships and a profound understanding of each other's hearts, Kelsey and Brandon embarked on a new chapter together, one where love triumphed over manipulation, and where a family, once on the brink of collapse, found its strength in unity and compassion.